What is up, everybody? Hope all is well. Unfortunately, today we now live in a world without Ozzy Osborne in it. And if I'm being honest, as somebody who calls himself one who loves rock, well, it kind of hits home a little bit. For as long as I can remember in my life, I have been a rock and roll, heavy metal, hard rock music lover. I don't remember a time where I was not that. And in all that time, for my whole life, I do not remember a time when Ozzy Osbourne was not a part of that. Two of the first cassettes I ever owned were Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz and Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman. Those two cassettes were on heavy rotation in my little bedroom where I grew up, listened to it on a boombox. And those are actually some of my earliest memories as a kid growing up. Sitting in my room, listening to music. For me, this is something I will often say, but rock and roll is in my DNA. Not sure how else to explain it. It's always been there, as long as I remember. And if it wasn't for Ozzy Osbourne, would I still be the same person I am? Probably very unlikely. I often consider myself a realist, so I won't take something like this too hard, as I personally, obviously, did not know Ozzy Osbourne. But at the same time, he was like the father, in a way. The father of rock and roll. And if rock and roll is in my DNA, well, he was kind of important, regardless if I knew him or not. I knew him like most other people know him, through the music and the art and stuff like that, the TV programs and whatnot. And everybody knows he was a cool, legit kind of dude. You got to give it up for Ozzy Osbourne. Basically, until the day he died, he was out there making music. Of course, like I said earlier, there's Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. Two iconic albums. And a lot of people might not know this, but he was actually putting albums out very recently. One good thing about modern recording technology is sometimes albums are a bit easier to make than they used to be. And Ozzy Osbourne has a lot of friends and the know-how to make these things happen. But needless to say, an album Ozzy put out just, I don't know, maybe it's 3-4 years at this point, but it reminded me of the good old Ozzy Osbourne sound. I don't know why, but it did. It reminded me of when I was a kid. So that was kind of cool to listen to. And even since that album, he has put more music out since. And like I said, I'm not going to let this bother me too much, at least so I thought. But you start seeing all the posts online and it starts getting at you a little bit. You know, we live in kind of a strange world these days. It feels a bit strange as of recent times. And I gotta admit, one day out, the world feels just a bit stranger without Ozzy Osbourne in it. Like I said, there would be no one who loves rock without Ozzy Osbourne. I grew up rock and roll, flooding through these veins, and I am very proud of that. Thank you, Ozzy Osbourne. Will we see you on the other side? Who knows? But again, thank God for Ozzy Osbourne. Thank God for rock and roll. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Until next time, take care, everybody. We will see you all next time. Oh, by the way, that thumbnail I made, of course, in honor of Ozzy, I did it in front of a church.